Welcome back to the City League Live, Game 2 of 4 tonight in Week 4 of the City League season. We just had a fun matchup on the women's side between Horizon League and Circle City Talk, and on top is NBA Math Hoops and Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm Andrew Garrison, alongside me Zach Browning, and Zach, we're having a good night so far and certainly much to be excited about in this game on the way.
Yeah, these are two teams where they're probably not at the top, the elite of the men's side here at the City League, but these are two teams that on any given night can beat any given team here that we have at the City League. Obviously, NBA Math Hoops slightly unknown at this point. They've only played one game so far this summer. They won that game, and it was a 10-point win over BBM Tax Service. But I've liked what I've seen out of Big Brothers Big Sisters so far this year. They lost by just 2 last Wednesday to the reigning champs Prudential. So I like what both of these two teams have shown so far this summer. We should be in store for a good one.
I absolutely agree. We're going to have Travis Clark and Josh Price set to tip. The victor will be Josh Price, and Hunter White will handle the basketball to start things off between these two teams. And Josh Price straight away, a 3 from the top of the key, is just off the mark. And reversing back the other way will be Chris Hosley for NBA Math Hoops. Hosley works it inside to Clark. Clark up, under, and through, and a 2-0 lead from NBA Math Hoops. Hunter White pushes the pace, finds Price in the corner. And there's Jeremy Tyler at the top of the key. Back to Hunter White. Hunter White from 3 misfires. And some quick transition basketball from NBA Math Hoops, and they nearly lose control of it. But it's going to find Connor McCaffrey. Right wing 3 from McCaffrey, and it's good.
There's a relatively lengthy short list of guys I wouldn't leave open from 3 here at the City League. Connor McCaffrey, one of those guys that's up near the top of it.
Plenty of sloppiness in transition on the ensuing possession, but it results in a Jeremy Tyler layup coast to coast. 5-2 the lead for NBA Math Hoops. It's McCaffrey in the right corner. He finds Clark. Back to McCaffrey. McCaffrey feeds Clark, and a wonderful give and go. And 2 more points on the board for NBA Math Hoops.
It's a fantastic pass there from McCaffrey. He's shown off the shooting and the passing early in this one.
Jeremy Tyler has it in the left corner. And he again works his way inside. Tyler's so elusive, so difficult to stop once he works his way downhill. Now Marcus Filyaw with the basketball for NBA Math Hoops. Closely guarded by Hunter White. He gives it up to Clark. Clark against Price, 2 big bodies. It's going to be exciting to watch them go at it throughout the evening. Skip Mills finds Hosley, and Hosley knocks down the triple. And a quick double-digit scoring production 2 minutes into the game. On the other end, the triple is off from Josh Brewer. And the Ben Davis graduate will tip the ball away from Travis Clark on the other end. McCaffrey handles it and finds Skip Mills. Mills on the right wing, closely guarded by Washington. And Mills pulls up for a long 2. That one's just off back iron and rebounded by Hunter White. White pushes the pace. There's Dominic Washington, up, under, and good. And the team captain cuts into the deficit for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Filyaw with the basketball. He looks to ISO Hunter White, and Hunter White gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. NBA Math Hoops will retain possession. Inbound to Connor McCaffrey, top of the key. McCaffrey one-on-one with Brewer. He goes up for it. Surely a foul call. There's the whistle, and McCaffrey will head to the line.
It's one of those Division I Big Ten basketball type of drives there from Connor McCaffrey. Knows he's not quicker than Brewer, but drove hard, got his body into Brewer, initiated the contact, and now has 2 shots upcoming here at the line.
It's the tenacity and the confidence you expect from somebody to play their Division I basketball at Iowa. Former teammates with Tony Perkins, who we saw here last night, putting together a 42-point performance. And now Connor McCaffrey looking to lead this NBA Math Hoops squad to a 2-0 start to the year. Here's Jeremy Tyler on the right wing for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Guarded by Clark. Finds a mismatch for Josh Price, and Price takes advantage of that mismatch effortlessly. 2 more on the board after the Price layup. Pushing the pace is NBA Math Hoops. Here's Travis Clark. he gives it up to Housley. Housley's fouled on the way up. Foul will go towards Josh Price, and NBA Matthews will return to the line. So Chris Housley on the way for 2 shots. Under 16 minutes to go in the first half of this one. 20-minute halves, of course, the Elam ending, as Housley missed the first.
This is a team in NBA Math Hoops that doesn't necessarily have one standout scorer. You look at Connor McCaffrey, he kind of jumps out when you're just scanning the roster. Travis Clark had 19 points to lead the team in scoring last time out. But it's really just a collective effort for this NBA Math Hoops squad.
Hunter White with the rock. He gives it up to Josh Price. Price driving hard on Clark. The putback goes to cut the deficit to 2. Here's Connor McCaffrey. NBA Math Hoops again pushing the pace. McCaffrey finds Mills. Mills inside to Clark, and Clark is fouled on the way up. And again, NBA Math Hoops, some great physicality between the blocks, finding their way at the free throw line once again.
This is a team in NBA Math Hoops that didn't get to the free throw line a whole lot their first game against BBM Tax Service. Again, that was 2 Wednesdays ago. This is a team, from what we've seen so far this season, that can really light it up from 3. They made 11 of them on 40% shooting from 3 in their first game of the season. Got a lot of three-point shooters. They really like to spread you out defensively. And then when they have those opportunities with a guy like Clark down low, that's when they like to attack on the interior.
And here's another second chance opportunity for NBA Math Hoops. Travis Clark gets the layup to go after the missed free throw. Here's Josh Brewer, Ben Davis legend, giving it up to Jeremy Tyler at the top of the key. Tyler works from the top of the key to the right wing, and pulling up from the left is Jeremy Tyler, and the 3 goes. 1-point game now from Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. McCaffrey off the feed from Philyaw, going one-on-one against Hunter White, and McCaffrey's going to lose control of it, but he was fouled. Hunter White has been tasked with some of the more difficult defensive jobs against some of these premier scorers and shot creators on offense throughout this season. And Hunter White's really done a great job considering the difficulty of those assignments. And here's McCaffrey pulling up from 3, and he's fouled by Dominic Washington. And we'll go to the line for 3 shots.
And what McCaffrey kind of brings is he's one of the more recent guys to graduate from Division I basketball, or at least high major Division I basketball that we have at the City League. There's a handful of guys that have played high major college basketball that also play here at the City League. But Connor McCaffrey, Tony Perkins, his teammate at Iowa, those are really 2 of the more recent guys. And what that means is they're still a little bit more in shape from their playing days, a little bit more at least in basketball shape. Not saying these other guys aren't, but playing college basketball, practicing pretty much every day, there's a little bit of a different intensity and a little bit of a different shape you've got to be in those situations. So Connor McCaffrey, Tony Perkins, the fact that they were just playing college basketball not too long ago kind of gives them that slight advantage.
Absolutely, and Connor McCaffrey shows that he hasn't lost his touch from the free throw line so far in this game. Gobbling up the board for NBA Math Hoops is Cademan Bontrager. And Bontrager now works inside. And an incredible showing between the blocks to put 2 more on the board for NBA Math Hoops. Here's Hunter White at the top of the key. Relinquishes the basketball. It's now Josh Price working inside. He can't connect, and the rebound falls with NBA Math Hoops once again. Here's Philyaw finding McCaffrey. McCaffrey intercepted. It was knocked away by Dominic Washington and falling helplessly out of bounds. In turn, returning to NBA Math Hoops. Marcus Philyaw to inbounds, closely guarded by Jeremy Tyler. Feeds it to Connor McCaffrey. Backing down Josh Brewer. McCaffrey kicks it out. Corner 3, cash for NBA Math Hoops. Bontrager knocked down the shot. 11:20 to go in the first half. Here's Jeremy Tyler on the left wing. Finds Josh Price. Tyler now flashing inside himself, and it just rolls around the rim. Tough take from Jeremy Tyler. He's not rewarded for his efforts. And Filial now pulls up for three off back iron. Rebounded by Big Brothers Big Sisters. Here's Price. Inside, up, under, and good is the shot for Jacob Schmatz. NBA Math Hoops, high tempo in transition. McCaffrey pulls up, deep three, off the front of the rim. Rebound, another opportunity, Bontrager. That one's just off as well. Yet another offensive rebound for NBA Math Hoops, and that'll be a backcourt violation. Big Brothers Big Sisters will take it back, down 7.
And really the best offense so far tonight for Big Brothers Big Sisters has been pushing it in transition. The problem with that is they haven't really gotten the stops they've needed to push out that ball in transition. You got to get stops to be able to get out and run in most instances.
Looks like Jeremy Tyler is fouled on the drive attempt. And this game is really quite entertaining because this is week 4 of the City League. NBA Math Hoops had their 2 bye weeks early on, both in week 1 and week 3. They're, of course, 1-0, but we're really quite confused as to what NBA Math Hoops is and how they stack up against the rest of the league. And on the other side, Big Brothers Big Sisters has played in some close games. They're 1-2, but certainly better than their record shows. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top here. Price gives it up, turns it over into the hands of Connor McCaffrey. Halfway through the first half now, McCaffrey lobs it to Bontrager. Bontrager runs out of room. Basketball finds its way back to McCaffrey, and a behind-the-back pass fails. It bounces off the foot of a defender and rolls out of bounds, so it will stay with NBA Math Hoops. Chaotic possession.
Kind of seen McCaffrey kind of operating as the de facto offensive initiator so far tonight for NBA Math Hoops.
NBA Math Hoops again loses control of the basketball. Big Brothers Big Sisters will take advantage. Josh Price rumbles down the lane, and a beautiful layup off the bank will be knocked through. McCaffrey seeks a response and redemption from a mishandled possession. Gives the basketball up to Skip Mills. Mills outside to Matheson, and Matheson turns it over. 2-on-1, numbers advantage. Big Brothers Big Sisters will convert. There's Josh Brewer, putting points on the board for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Skip Mills at the top of the key, working his way to the mid-range, kicking it back outside to Emmanuel Rico, and Rico inside to Bontrager. Bontrager will finish at the rim. Some great top-to-bottom offense from both sides. Here's Tyler seeking space. Kicks it out to Schmatz. Schmatz chisels inside, and his push shot is off the mark. Reversing momentum is NBA Math Hoops. It's Matheson with it. He gives it up to Bontrager. Bontrager, a deep three. In and out for NBA Math Hoops. Josh Brewer, now on the right wing, finds Jeremy Tyler. Tyler slithers and snakes inside. Can't find a quality shot. Great defense from McCaffrey. And on the other end, it's Bontrager finishing at the rim, and NBA Math Hoops is going to stay afloat and stay ahead, up 7. And here's a timeout called by Big Brothers Big Sisters. A logical one in this moment.
Yeah, they've struggled to get it going offensively. Defensively, it's been a little bit of an issue. Just a lot of back cuts, a lot of open layups so far allowed by Big Brothers Big Sisters. But I want to circle Cademan Bontrager. He's been really good to start out of IWU, plays his college basketball currently at Indiana Wesleyan. We have some Wesleyan supporters to our left. They're hanging on every time he puts up a shot, hoping it drops. Good to see that. That's another part about what the City League is about, having these guys who play locally or did play locally, having their supporters, whether it's friends, family, former teammates, coaches, whatever it may be, come out and support them as well here at the City League, here at the Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. But if you are Big Brothers Big Sisters, you just got to find some sort of rhythm offensively. It's really been lacking. It's a lot of my turn, your turn type of offense, not a lot of cohesive swinging the ball around type of offense. They've been at their best, Andrew, when they've gotten it out in transition and have been able to push the tempo.
Yeah, and in the first game we saw Big Brothers Big Sisters play this season against Elevate Indy, it kind of felt the whole time similarly where they were searching for an identity offensively, and then you called out at halftime that you thought we were waiting for Josh Price to really emerge, and that's exactly what he did. He took over in that game, and of course they ended up with a loss. But Big Brothers Big Sisters certainly looking for more from Josh Price and just more from the offense as a whole. And there's a mistake in transition by Schmatz, and it leads to a Matheson slam dunk. Appears to be a clock malfunction at the moment here inside Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. But NBA Math Hoops will play on. Housley knocks down the triple. And a 10-point lead now for NBA Math Hoops.
We're playing a game now, Andrew. How long until they notice that the official clock is not currently running?
Well, how long until somebody in attendance here has the confidence to tell them?
We have it over here. Don't think it's necessary just yet for me to yell out across the floor.
And another big-time three from Housley. That might come in handy. Our clock on the other side from press row. And the response from Big Brothers Big Sisters comes from Jamal Bridges, who was not present for the game against Prudential. A 2-point loss for his squad. And Housley looking for 3 in a row. Can't grab it the first time. Gobbles up the rebounds. Gives it up to Skip Mills. Mills on the right wing. One-on-one against Brewer. Makes a couple moves and a golden triple. NBA Math Hoops is really getting it going from outside the perimeter.
And Andrew, I love Skip Mills because, as we have a quick stoppage on the floor to fix the net, I love Skip Mills just because he is the only guy in the City League that plays with his jersey tucked in. You will find it hard to find one other guy in the City League or girl that plays with their shirt and jersey tucked in. Skip Mills does that. I think it's awesome.
Hunter White draws the foul on the way to the rim. That was a requirement in my rec games as a kid. And it's good to see those traditions continued on here, as you mentioned. Skip Mills for NBA Math Hoops, 7 points, 12 rebounds last week against BBM Tax Service. Struggled a bit from the field, but certainly cleaned up the boards in a big win that was 2 weeks ago, rather, against Prudential. And he's been a major part of this 35-22 lead here in the first half for NBA Math Hoops. We're here at Bonner Fitness and Learning Center next to Indianapolis Arsenal Technical High School on North Oriental Street in Indianapolis. When they talk about how in 49 states it's just basketball, but this is Indiana, this is part of it. Really some great local basketball within the community, promoting the sport, promoting togetherness, promoting the community, and getting involved. We'll see NBA Math Hoops inbound from the sideline. Skip Mills with a wonderfully tucked in jersey. Working past Jeremy Tyler, giving it up to Bontrager. Bontrager into Clark. Clark's been quiet for the majority of the first half, but he will pass the basketball up to Housley. Housley, the hot hands, finds Philyaw, and Philyaw's just off at the shot clock buzzer. Fortunately, got the shot off, but not rewarded for the daring triple. Here's Tyler, off to White on the right wing. White works inside, and a mid-range turnaround jumper just off the mark. Skip Mills working back the other way. He got past Tyler last time. This time runs out of room, finds Clark. Clark works to the elbow. Gives it up to the left corner. And there's Philyaw, who airballs on a tough shot. He'll have another opportunity. He uses it to give the ball up to Clark, who also misses inside. And here's Josh Price working back the other way, crashing to the glass and drawing a whistle. Foul will be on Bontrager. That's the third team foul for NBA Math Hoops. And 4 minutes left to go in the first half here. We'll have Josh Price at the line. Josh Price played his college ball at Southern Indiana. 18.7 points per game there. 15.7 points per game here at the City League. He's been shooting 38% from the field, but just 17% from three. And he will take advantage of the turnover, push the pace back the other way. Here's Hunter White, coast to coast, up, under, and through. Big Brothers Big Sisters is chipping away. It's a single-digit deficit now.
Getting out and running, getting in transition. We've seen Josh Price be able to make his way to the free throw line as well. Those are the recipes for success for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
And here's Filios stripped on the way up. And Housley, bullseye on yet another triple. That seems to be 4 now for Housley.
That one was tough. That was a great contest.
Price for a response, draws back iron. And a 12-point lead again here for NBA Math Hoops. Skip Mills commandeering the offense. One-on-one against Dominic Washington. He steps back and knocks down yet another 3-ball for NBA Math Hoops. That has been the difference in this one offensively. It's Price working inside. And it will be out of bounds and stay with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
You know, just like the jersey tuck, Skip Mills is smooth with the basketball in his hands, Andrew.
Absolutely, and it's been so great to see this NBA Math Hoops offense really come into its own. Skip Mills has been a major part of that. Here's Tyler. Loses his footing. Hard fall. Connor McCaffrey, 5-on-4. Will draw a whistle on the other end. Fortunately, Tyler is okay, and after the events of what has happened around Indianapolis basketball in the last month, falls like that certainly can scare a building, but fortunately Tyler seems to be walking it off just fine. McCaffrey will shoot 2 as he was fouled on the way up on the other end. 43-26. This game has really gotten away from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and really credit to NBA Math Hoops for forcing them to play their way. You mentioned how Big Brothers Big Sisters in transition. That's where they've found their success so far.
And it's interesting because, Andrew, we came into this game sort of questioning where NBA Math Hoops kind of stood in the hierarchy of the City League this summer. And I think we're getting our answer here in this first half. This is a really solid, despite being 1-2, this is a really solid Big Brothers Big Sisters team. And NBA Math Hoops is making it look relatively easy out there.
Josh Price up, under, and through is his layup. 1 minute left to go in the first half. Housley at the top of the key finds McCaffrey. Slight inaccuracy, but McCaffrey gets a handle of it. And he just absolutely cooks Josh Price, but unfortunately turns it over after the fact. Hunter White pushing the pace. They have numbers, and Hunter White will take it coast to coast himself. He's so great at running the floor, and he shows it off there.
This whole team is. That's why they've got to find a way to get out and run a little bit more, but they haven't been able to get the stops and those long rebounds, those second chance opportunities that they've allowed. They haven't been able to get out and transition as much as they would have liked.
And on top of that, NBA Math Hoops so good from beyond the three-point line. Skip Mills will knock White to the floor and knock down the open mid-range. Here's Jeremy Tyler the other way, coast to coast. This one off the mark. 12 seconds left in the half now. McCaffrey will slow it down for the final shot, up 17. Here's Mills on the right wing, working against Brewer. And Mills pulls up, rolls around and through. It looked good from the jump, and Mills thankful to see a 20-point lead on the board thanks to that final shot at the buzzer before halftime.
Yeah, there may not be a better three-point shooting team here at the City League other than NBA Math Hoops. Mentioned it earlier, they shot 40% from three, made 11 of them in their first game of the year. I feel like they're already in double figures. We don't have the official stats right now, but I feel like they're already in double figures when it comes to three-pointers made here in this first half alone. Up and down the roster, they've got guys that can come in and rate it in from three. When you've got a guy like Skip Mills that comes in and is this hot from deep, this is what happens. You're up 20 at halftime.
And Big Brothers Big Sisters might have to respond with a few more tucked-in shirts to mimic the success on the other end. 50 points on the board for NBA Math Hoops. They're on track for 100. We'll be back in a few for the start of the second half from the City League Live. Second half action at the City League live from Bonner Fitness and Learning Center on the way. It's Big Brothers Big Sisters. They have 30 points so far against NBA Math Hoops, who has 50. I'm Andrew Garrison. Alongside me is Zach Browning for a great evening of local basketball here in Indianapolis. Zach, we've seen a first half that really got away from Big Brothers Big Sisters. What did you see in the first, and what are you hoping to see in the second?
Saw a lot of shot making on one side, not so much on the other side. 9 made threes, 9 of 15 to be exact. That's 60% for those of you not trying to do the math at home. 60% from three-point range in the first half for NBA Math Hoops. On the flip side, Andrew, Big Brothers Big Sisters, just 1 of 6 from deep. Simply put, the math from NBA Math Hoops wins out on that. If you're going to outscore your opponent by, see if I can do some quick math here, 24 from 3, that helps.
Absolutely, and straight away between the blocks, it's Travis Clark putting 2 more on the board for NBA Math Hoops. A relentless offense that has been fantastic. Scored 73 against BBM Tax Service and Tony Perkins in their first game. Here's Hunter White on the right wing. He works inside to the mid-range, pulls up over Travis Clark and knocks down that one. I've loved to watch Hunter White throughout his few games here in the City League. A great defender and fantastic running up and down the floor, and then clearly pulling up in the mid-range as well.
And the lefties always look smooth, don't they?
I suppose you're right. Certainly a more difficult road to success throughout the basketball career. Skip Mills knocking down the shot. Your guy, Zach. And now Josh Price looking for a response. He draws a foul against Travis Clark. And Clark expressing a little bit frustration with the difficulty that has come with defending this Big Brothers Big Sisters team.
Yeah, that last 3 for Skip Mills, his 4th. He's not missed from 3. He's 4 of 4. Has 14 points. And I'm telling you, the reason why is because his jersey is tucked in. Might sound like a 50-year-old man there. I'm not actually complaining about not having jerseys tucked in. I just think it's cool that he's literally the only guy on the floor and really in all of the City League that has that jersey tucked in.
Well, I don't mean to take this point too far, but assuming that his jersey was tucked in his first game as well, tucked-in jerseys might just be undefeated at the City League this summer. And Skip Mills at the top of the key. He'll marshal the basketball against Josh Price. And he'll pull up from 3. Is that a 5th? It is. Skip Mills. Unbelievable performance from around the perimeter. He has 17 and his team has 58. Hunter White pulls up for a mid-range response.
At this point, it's get out of the way and let Skip Mills try and shoot another 3. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
And he again pulls up. There's 6 from Skip Mills. And 61 on the board for NBA Math Hoops. And it seems like that's exactly what this team is doing. They're just letting Skip Mills shoot until he starts missing.
There's not much you can do on that last one. That was deep.
There's a block from Travis Clark, and once again, the ball in the hands of Skip Mills. He works for another open one, this one contested, and finally he misses. Rebounded by Connor McCaffrey. It's whipped back to Skip Mills on the left wing. This time he'll work inside, runs out of room, kicks it back out to Housley, and Housley knocks down a triple of his own. He's had plenty in his own right. Housley, that will be 5 3-pointers from him. And if you just add up the points from Housley and Mills around the perimeter alone, they'd be in competition with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And then you add in all the other production, and that's 64 points against Big Brothers Big Sisters is 33. 17 minutes left to go. It's a blowout.
Andrew, they've scored 14 points in 3 minutes.
That's
they were
unbelievable.
up 50-30 at half and have outscored Big Brothers Big Sisters 14-3 over the course of the first 3 minutes of this half. Skip Mills 6 threes. He's got 17 points, and shooting is contagious. It's like hitting in baseball. Shooting is contagious, and you've got a guy that goes his first 6 without missing one. Starts to rub off on the other guys like Housley, like McCaffrey, like Filia, like everybody else on this roster, like Bontrager. Shooting's contagious. We're seeing that tonight, and I'm not sure there's any team on the men's side of the City League that could really stand up to the performance from three-point range that NBA Math Hoops has put forth tonight. I mean, this is one of those games where they're just a buzzsaw and anybody standing in their way, whether it's the best team in the league or the worst team in the league. Not saying that Big Brothers Big Sisters is, but no matter who it is, this is a buzzsaw that Big Brothers Big Sisters has run into tonight.
Absolutely, and it's clear that NBA Matthews might end up being one of these teams on the men's side that if they shoot the ball like this, they might just be unbeatable. Big Brothers Big Sisters is going to look to have something to say about that. There's Josh Price knocking down a triple to respond for Big Brothers Big Sisters. A big-time shot to cut the lead to 28 for Josh Price.
Sound like Chris Paul there.
And Bontrager will fail to return the lead to 30, but he'll head to the line for a second chance.
Bontrager's been good, and he hasn't even seen that many minutes. That's kind of, we talked about it earlier. It's a balanced scoring attack for NBA Math Hoops. They don't necessarily have one player that kind of stands out and is like, yep, that's their leading scorer, that's their go-to guy. Connor McCaffrey can be that. Skip Mills has been that tonight. We've seen Housley at stretches this summer has been dominant. Travis Clark led the team in scoring in their only other game of the season with 19. And then Bontrager, who didn't play in the first game of the season for NBA Math Hoops, he's been fantastic so far in slightly limited action tonight.
Here's Bontrager once again between the blocks, up under and off the mark, rebounded by Price. Price this time will back down the defender, gives the basketball up to Bridges. Bridges will miss. Price fights for a rebound, but is outmatched by the three NBA Math Hoops defenders. And a foul in transition on the other way. I've loved the unselfishness from NBA Math Hoops as well, where Connor McCaffrey was kind of the face of the first few minutes of the game, and then the second Skip Mills started hitting shots at the level that he has. Everybody else has kind of backed off, and Cademan Bontrager, somebody else that has had success off the bench. It's been great to see NBA Math Hoops really allow their teammates to shine. There is no star-driven mentality on that team. Tyler draws a foul on the way to the rack, and he will head to the line for two. 64-36 remains the score.
And the defensive effort has been not maybe equally as impressive as the effort from three-point range, but it's been up there. I mean, this is a good offensive team in Big Brothers Big Sisters. Scored 59 last Wednesday against Prudential. They've got a lot of talented scorers. You're looking at one at the line here, and Tyler Ron Coleman, who's not here tonight. That's a big absence for Big Brothers Big Sisters. He's a great scorer, but Josh Price is, Josh Brewer. They've got a lot of good scorers, this Big Brothers Big Sisters team. You got to give a lot of credit to this NBA Math Hoops team defensively.
Chris Housley finds McCaffrey. McCaffrey passes up the three-point opportunity in the corner. And this time we'll drive inside. Gives it up to Housley. Housley, his shot, rattles off, but the putback from Bontrager. Great hustle play from him to return the lead to 29.
And we've talked about the advantage of actually currently playing college basketball or just being removed from playing your college basketball. Look at Bontrager. He looks like he's just strong. You can see it. He is well built. Josh Price, who has really not had trouble driving through anybody this summer. A little bit of trouble with Bontrager as a defensive matchup. He did just pick up his third foul there, Bontrager, but we've talked about it. The advantage and kind of strength and conditioning and just kind of being in rhythm of currently being in the midst of your college playing career or just freshly out of. It definitely has an effect.
Bontrager fights for the rebound off the White miss.
I think that's his fourth.
And I'm curious, Zach, do you know the rule on fouling out in the City League?
Think it's 6. Don't quote me on that.
Which I always find interesting because the WNBA is the same way, where it's 6 fouls despite playing a 40-minute game. And obviously in college, 5 fouls for 40 minutes, 48 in the NBA minutes, and then 6 fouls. A transition takeaway for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Here's Tyler into White. White all alone. He misses the dunk opportunity. And it will go the other way, and that's a situation where any coaches that are watching are definitely screaming, don't make it that complicated.
Just been that type of game, specifically offensively, for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Nothing has really come easy. Whether it's been from three-point range or inside the arc, they've had to work for every single basket.
It's McCaffrey on the left wing, closely guarded by White. McCaffrey blows by him and gives it up to Bontrager, who slams it down.
McCaffrey showing off the playmaking tonight. During his college career, is much more of a shooter, a floor spacer, but showing off the playmaking bag this evening.
Fantastic distributor tonight has been Connor McCaffrey, to your point. Here's Tyler, elusive, slithering and snaking to the cup. His shot's just off the mark. Bontrager has an opportunity for 4 points in a row, but he's fouled as the ball flies into the sky. I always worry about the glass windows you can see on the left side of your screen. I'm sure they're fortified and certainly not able to be crushed by a basketball, but it's something that crosses my mind.
I've not tested them as far as like these grown men who are 6'5", 6'6", 180 to 200 plus pounds. I've not tested it that as far as their fortification is concerned, but they can withstand a punch or two. Not a punch, but some power.
Here's Hunter White. And it will be Bridges knocking down the corner triple to cut the lead, or the deficit rather, to 30. Here comes Skip Mills, the hot hand for NBA Math Hoops. It's been a bit quiet since the timeout. He lobs it to Bontrager. It's intercepted by two Big Brothers Big Sisters defenders, and this time Hunter White will finish on the other end despite the contest from McCaffrey. And McCaffrey seeks a response. Skip Mills is open. Instead, he finds Bontrager inside. Size advantage is to Bontrager, and he just misses the jumper. It's back out to Mills. Mills on the right wing. Over to McCaffrey. McCaffrey, a deep three. Just off. Rebounded by Big Brothers Big Sisters. Here comes Brewer. And Brewer, I thought he was going to rise up for a big-time slam. Instead, he's fouled on the way, and Josh Brewer will return to the line for two.
We've kind of touched on it a couple of times, Andrew, tonight, but with the men's side of things relatively wide open, we saw Prudential pick up their first loss really in a long time just last night. So with the men's side of the bracket relatively wide open, this NBA Math Hoop squad tonight is making a statement and making their case for being one of the potential favorites on the men's side of things this summer. No team has really, truly separated themselves, and with Prudential struggling last night, things could be wide open on the men's side.
It's a great point, especially, as you mentioned, with the defending champions looking outside of the top three in terms of quality. Here's Skip Mills, a contested jumper as the ball bounces around. Rebounded by Matheson, and it's kicked outside, and a corner three for NBA Math Hoops is just off the mark. And Matheson can't control a third chance opportunity. So it's quick transition basketball for Big Brothers Big Sisters. That triple off the mark from Bridges this time. And it's Rico giving it up to Bontrager. Bontrager's corner three just off. Cold shooting the last couple minutes. Here's Josh Brewer. Top of the key, he pulls up a deep three. And that one's just off as well. NBA Math Hoops will slow it down. They've been playing some quick tempo throughout this game so far. Mills commandeers the offense.
I think Skip Mills should just start shooting from three again. Thoughts?
I mean, right here seems to have the advantage against Jacob Schmatz. And instead, Mills is going to work inside, up under and off the mark. A foul call comes in late, but I believe a deserved one. And Mills will go to the line. Well, NBA Math Hoops is one of three currently unbeaten teams on the men's side. Darius Adams and Mambo's Cheesesteak Grill, who we will see tonight, tipping at 9 p.m. against Elevate Indianapolis. And then Greg Foster, an Indianapolis Recorder, has had some thrilling finishes so far this season. They stand at 2-0 as well. And then, of course, NBA Math Hoops playing their second game now. They are still unbeaten on the men's side. Mills sinks the second free throw. It's 72-44. And we march forward in game two of night two of week 4 of the City League this summer. Josh Price, he pulls up, size advantage, and that shot just rolls out, and that is indicative of the entire effort for Big Brothers Big Sisters, just coming up short possession after possession. Here's Mills, closely guarded by Price. Mills maintains control of it. He has Rico open, and he's going to take it himself and draw a foul.
And that kind of performance for Price and Big Brothers Big Sisters, just frustrating on both sides of the ball. And when a team starts raining down threes like NBA Math Hoops has in this ball game, it's tough to win.
Here's Bontrager, tough take over Schmatz, but he gets it to go. 30-point lead once again. Here's Tyler. He pulls up from three off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Rico. And handed to Skip Mills. Mills controls the offense. He's against Schmatz once again. This time he pulls up for a long two. That one's just off. Rebounded by Washington. Washington to Tyler. Tyler inside. He blows by Mills. Mills wants to travel. Tyler's going to score. What's your opinion, Zach?
Looked like a good finish to me there from Jeremy Tyler. Good footwork, good body control as well. Impressive.
Here's McCaffrey, frustrated by the lack of an open receiver, and Skip Mills up under and through. Beautiful finish from him on the other end. And this 30-point lead is restored. Not for long, as Bridges just rims out a three-pointer. Called that one a bit too early. Here's a turnover in transition. Bridges to Tyler. Tyler back to Bridges. Bridges has hit a couple of threes this game. He'll hand it off to Price. Price rumbles to the rim and pulls up from the mid-range. That one is cash. 76-48. Down the court comes Skip Mills, and NBA Math Hoops marches closer and closer to a second victory on the season. Here's McCaffrey, right wing three. Off the front of the iron. Rebounded by Tyler. And Tyler is nearly intercepted, but Josh Price is going to work inside, kick it out to Bridges. Bridges open three, just off. And Big Brothers Big Sisters has really struggled shooting the basketball down the stretch here.
Not just down the stretch. Throughout the entire game, they went just 1 of 6 from deep in that first half.
Bontrager has it. He finds Rico. Rico takes advantage of the open space. His shot just rims out. And Matheson's putback goes. There's no double rims here at Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. You're kind of running out of excuses. You're a basketball player missing shots inside this building. Here's Tyler, who misses yet again. McCaffrey behind the back to Rico. Rico saves it, and the corner three is banking in. How about that from Emmanuel Rico?
If that doesn't tell you how this game has gone. Jeremy Tyler rimming in and out a shot on one end, and then Rico banking in a three from the corner on the other. That's just so indicative of how this game has gone.
And you stack those moments across possession after possession after possession, and you get to where we are now, 81-48. Of course, NBA Math Hoops much more effective from beyond the three-point line. Shout out to Skip Mills for that. Elam Ending is where we have reached. 81-48 is the scoreline. First team to 90 is victorious in this one. The clock no longer a factor, and certainly NBA Math Hoops will be heavily favored to finish this one out.
And if you're other teams on the men's side watching this game, Andrew, are you a little bit scared? Because to me, we haven't seen the full-fledged offensive and defensive attack of NBA Math Hoops. Yes, they've shot the three lights out tonight, but Travis Clark, he had 19 in their first game of the season. He's barely been a factor offensively tonight. Skip Mills has been great. Connor McCaffrey, he hasn't exactly got it going much outside of the playmaking department tonight. Marcus Filia has been relatively quiet. Housley has had spurts from three-point range, and Bontrager has been good as well. But to me, I don't know if we've seen the best yet of NBA Math Hoops, just as far as a full top-to-bottom, everybody is clicking type of ordeal, and that can be scary for some of these other teams on the men's side.
Absolutely. They're rocking a jersey that mimics the Indiana Pacers City Edition. And Skip Mills, I thought that one was going to fall. It doesn't. Just off the front of the rim is an off-balance shot, but Bontrager puts it back through. 7 points away from victory is NBA Math Hoops. Here's Josh Brewer. He pulls up from the left wing. Off back iron once again. And creeping ever closer is Bontrager and NBA Matthews. Here's Skip Mills, right corner three, just off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Price. Price working left to right, and he is going to draw a foul on Filya on his way to the rim. He'll shoot two. So interestingly, this is the second game out of 4 of the season for NBA Matthews, but this is the last regular season game for Big Brothers Big Sisters. So both these teams in, completely separate points of their development and progress throughout the season, but NBA Matthews, as you mentioned, we don't really know what they are, and this is a Big Brothers Big Sisters team that seemingly should be at their best at this point in the season, having played 3 games, and NBA Matthews blowing right past them.
I will say, I think the absence of Jerron Coleman, who's averaging around 11 points per game on the season, as that bucket I don't believe is going to count for Rico. But the absence of Jerron Coleman tonight for Big Brothers Big Sisters, that can't be understated. He's such a pivotal part of this offensive cog for Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we've kind of seen without him, and just in general, the offense hasn't been as smooth tonight.
Bullseye, big shot from Marcus Filya. He had 5 points against BBM Tax Service, but knocks down a triple there to put his team 2 possessions away from victory. Jeremy Tyler, long 2, just off. Rebounded by Mills. Mills lobs it to Bontrager. Bontrager runs out of room. Finds Matheson. Now Filya, 2 in a row from Matheson. Not quite. Rebounded by Rico. And it will head back the other way as it falls out of bounds. Dominic Washington crosses the timeline. Hunter White has it on the left wing. And he will work. He's so quick as Hunter White. He couldn't finish at the rim, but certainly put himself in position to get 2 more on the board. There's a turnover in transition for NBA Matthews. Josh Brewer. The right side block finds Tyler. Tyler, his push shot falls. And Big Brothers Big Sisters will cross the 50-point mark for the first time in this game. Here's Marcus Filya kicking out to Bontrager. Bontrager's triple rattles off. And there's a turnover in transition forced by Matheson, but Rico runs out of bounds with the basketball. And Big Brothers Big Sisters will take it back. Washington inbound. White, a deep 3. Just off. And it falls out of bounds. It will stay with NBA Matthews. 4 points away is NBA Matthews from victory. Elam ending target score is 90. Skip Mills will commandeer the offense across the timeline. Closely guarded by Hunter White. Mills works inside to the elbow, inside to the opposite side block. He draws a foul on the way up, and Mills will go to the line for 2, an opportunity to make this a 1-possession gap between NBA Matthews and victory.
Mills has really been the story offensively in this one for NBA Matthews. Obviously, he made his first 6 3-pointers before missing one tonight, Andrew. And in the second half, it's been a lot more inside the arc, attacking the basket type of an offensive attack for Mills. But again, he's just kind of shown the full array of what he can do offensively, raining down threes off the dribble and catch and shoot scenarios, attacking the basket as well. He's been the full package this evening.
He hits both free throws as well. Tyler finds White in the corner, and it's winning time for NBA Matthews. It's going to be Filya behind the back pass to Bontrager. That would have been a fantastic way to end a strong performance for NBA Matthews, but the victory will be, or the game will be prolonged at least 2 possessions longer. Bridges knocks down a 3, and NBA Matthews, opportunity number 2 to end the game. Mills on the right wing. He pulls up from the free throw line. Off back iron. Rebounded by Jeremy Tyler. Tyler working the other direction. Finds White. White can't finish at the rim. And Rico can't find a teammate on a lob either. White airballs.
And that kind of night for Hunter White.
And clearly Big Brothers Big Sisters running out of gas as Bontrager will slam it down and slam the victory home for NBA Math Hoops. They are 2-0. They remain undefeated. We await to see later tonight if they will still be 3 undefeated teams on the men's side of the City League. NBA Math Hoops has made their mark on the City League. Skip Mills, Connor McCaffrey, Cademan Bontrager, Chris Housley, Travis Clark, Marcus Villia. This team has had an incredible showing tonight as they did 2 weeks ago. Look out, City League.
Yeah, this is a team, and I touched on it not too long ago, Andrew. I still don't know if we've seen the full array and the full arsenal for NBA Math Hoops in one game. We've seen Travis Clark go off in game 1. We saw Skip Mills tonight. But it's got to be a scary thought for these City League teams. What if they do it in the same night? What if they do it in the same game? What if they both can get going? What if they all can get going collectively at one time? We saw a little bit of it from three-point range throughout this contest, but I still don't think we've seen the best from them so far.
It'll be interesting to see the rest of the season play out. NBA Math Hoops will play every week the rest of the regular season, and then, of course, into the tournament and playoffs should they make it there. We'll have you switch streams here on the same City League Live channel. We have Sentier Bank, one of the 2 undefeated teams on the women's side, taking on Indy Black Professionals on the way. I'm Andrew Garrison alongside Zach Browning. We'll be back in a few.